Okay, hey everybody. Thank y'all for the ones that jumped on here real quick. I had to run to Atlanta, north of Atlanta this morning early, and I got back in time. So I didn't know for sure if I'd be in the car, and that's never that great when it is. But I did want to come on here because it is an important month for all of us. Today is June the 10th, 2018. So we have 20 days for the seminar year to be over. Wow. Okay. And May just seemed to creep by. Like May, just like, I don't know. I kept thinking the month was over and then there'd be like another week. And June is like, what happened to the first 10 days? I don't even know. So it is flying by, but there's plenty of time to do big things before the end of the month. So many of you are going to seminar. If you have not made that decision, you can still go. You can register today. There's lots of people still registering. You can register up until July the 1st. And so on July the 1st, then that will be the deadline to register. And after that, you would have to register online at seminar. But let me just say, for those of you that are listening to this, I mean, honestly, since it is my 33rd year in a row going to seminar without missing, 33 years in a row, I really can't even, there's probably no excuse that you could give me. So let me just say, instead of guilting you into going to seminar, it's just to say, when you're in business for yourself, you need it. You need to see winners. You need to see people like you that are succeeding. You may not be like me, and you may not be like your sister consultants, but when you get to seminar, I guarantee you'll see some people exactly like you that will inspire you. Also, it's also for just encouraging your unit and your sales director, like me or whoever the director is. I mean, we work all year for a goal, and then we get recognized. It's nice to have your unit members there, because you surely don't do it by yourself, And so I just want to encourage you that if you have thought about it, and for the Ruby seminar, those of you that are in my national area it's the easiest year to go, because honestly, registration is on a Friday. And then it starts on Sunday. It's Sunday, Monday. I'm sorry. It starts on Saturday. So it's Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And it ends at noon on Monday. So really, you would only have to take off 2 days of work. I mean, you could actually, literally just fly in early Friday morning if you wanted to, and not miss a thing. So this is a great time. Some of the other seminars are having to take off the whole week, because theirs starts it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so we're really lucky in that way. So we would love to have you. I know that we can get some more people registered. Just go ahead and commit. Send your registration in. Let's get that going. Okay. Now let's talk about a couple of things this week. First of all, the Star Consultant Quarter does end on the 15th. And you will want to be a Star Consultant. There's lots of prizes that you can win. Plus, just, it's the minimum level of making $600 a month in Mary Kay. And, that's selling $1,200, making $600. So that needs to be a goal for everybody. I mean, I know each of you could not live on a $150 paycheck. If this was your only source of income, I would die. I couldn't, I would have another job, But, so I've always ran my business at a star level or higher. And Sapphire Star is you're basically profiting, if you're taking a profit, $150 a week. If you're the Ruby Star level, that is $200 a week. Okay. And then it just goes on up. So I want you to think about what you're selling weekly, and you need to have that goal to sell at least 300 every week, but really more like 500 to 1,000 every week. And that can be done with your reorder business and with just a couple of parties. Just like, last week when I talked about Megan's party that was $1,200. I mean, she didn't have 20 people there. It was only 6 people, but it was a good party, and there's many of you guys have had this, and you'll see with the new skincare that people will buy it if they have the money. And if they don't have the money, you can always get them up on a little plan where say, okay, well, maybe you can get the cleanser and the moisturizer, today, and then let's get the eye cream and the CC cream in 2 weeks. You can kind of work it out for them if you need to. But there's time even between now and the 15th, which is Friday, to be a star. That's 1,800 wholesale. And so, you can think, what could I do to do this? And I will just give you one idea that we've used years and years and years and years and years. And that is that you sell what we call star certificates. star certificates. And all it is where you call or text people and say, I have a really big goal that I am trying to accomplish by the 15th. And in Mary Kay, it's called Star Consultant. And I am doing a crazy sale this week. And it's only, it ends on Friday. And what it is I'm selling star certificates. And star certificates are where you can buy a $150 certificate for only $100. And you can spend it now, or you can save it and spend it later. The only key is that you would have to pay for it, before Friday. Okay? That way you'd have the money to place the order. And so you're going to give her $150 of product for $100. So it's basically 33.3% off. But you're getting $100. So if you did that for 18 people, then you would have $1,800 that you could put it all in. If you don't have full inventory already, you could put it all in and get your order done. Okay, if you have full inventory, then you would want to sell 36 of them so that you could actually profit, right? You want to profit some too. So that is one. I know a lot of people that maybe they've just been shy. They needed $800 to finish their star. And so they went out and sold 8 star certificates. Now you may say, well, what would I order if they're not ordering yet? Well, obviously I would order the new products and some of the basic stuff. And then, when they get ready to cash it in, obviously if you didn't have the product, you would need to place an order for that because you wouldn't know. But a lot of them will go ahead and give you their order right then. It's crazy. I do this only once a year. I do mine on Black Friday. And I would say I probably could sell 1,000. If I wanted to do it today, I could probably sell $1,000 this afternoon and say I've got a really special going on. And I've got people that would buy 2 of them. They're like, I want 2 of those star certificates. So I basically have a little program and I credit their account for $300 and they pay me $200. And then they get to use it through the year, whenever they want to. And so it's just a way for you to get the money ahead of time. And then, of course, they can cash it in whenever they want to. And so that is an idea that you could use if you really would like to be a star consultant by then. And plus, it's going to help your unit. And for our unit, we just crossed over the $600,000 line to win the top director trip, which will be our 6th in a row. We have to do $650,000. So we need another $50,000 retail, $25,000 wholesale to make that goal. So we are going to do that. I know that many of the directors on here are going for their Cadillac, and some are going for their first car, the Cruise. And so anything you do this month, it counts. It totally 100% counts. And I will tell you that I have had where, it was a difference in one person's order. Like I wouldn't have made it, one person. So don't think you don't count for the unit, because you do. 100%. And it's always down to the wire, and every single person that's listening to me, it counts what you do in the month of June. If you're on Selah's team, she's a DIQ, and Carmen, she's a DIQ that's in Stephanie's unit. It counts tremendously for them to finish their DIQ and become a director in 1 month. So they have to do production, which is $13,500, and they also have to end up with 24 active people. For those of you that did not get the memo, they did extend the 8 and N, so hallelujah. So you guys could go into DIQ with 8 active team members on July the 1st. And how cool would that be if you're going to seminar, to go to seminar as a DIQ? Wouldn't that be amazing? Like if you just said, I'm doing it. I'm going to get me 8 people. I'm going to go to seminar as a DIQ. And you get to go to different classes because you're a DIQ, which would be awesome, and special recognition. So, it's worth it. And do you know anyone that has at least 12 qualified team members that you've recruited in the year you were in the Princess Court of Sharing for your national area for GoGive. And anyone that does 20,000 retail, not wholesale, retail, is as a consultant, you get to go across stage on the big stage at seminar in your long dress. In the Princess Court, all consultants and new directors get to do that. So that's pretty big too. They have never done that. You usually have to do 40,000 to get to go on stage. So they're going to have a parade of the Princess Court. So that's exciting. So lots of stuff to work toward for sure. Obviously, the Kate Spade bags, if you have been a star consultant every quarter, then you're going to qualify for that 5th prize. And if you, according to what level you have, you get extra points even toward that prize. So you can look at the details of that as well. Okay, I wanted to share with you something that I finally finished reading my book today, This Pound the Stone. You know, I've been talking about it for several weeks, and I was in the car coming home from Atlanta, and I thought, this is just the best book. I mean, every single one of you need to read this book. The first one's that Chalkwood Carry Water. You need to read that one too, and then you need to read this one. But it is so good. So I want to read you just a couple of things. And this reminded me of, you know, it's really sad. Kate Spade, the designer of those bags, you know, millionaire, billionaire, whatever, you know, end up committing suicide this week. And I'm like, that is the saddest thing I've ever heard of. And one of the things in this book, it talks about playing present. And that so many times we're focused on what happened in the past. We're focused on what's going to happen in the future, that we're not present to the moment. And present to the moment can mean a lot of different things. If you're at a dinner table and you got your cell phone at the dinner table, you're not present in the moment. Because all you're doing, like you're answering texts, people are trying to talk to you, and you're doing this the whole time. And, you know, that's not present in the moment. And I think Chick-fil-A has a great idea. They have this bucket, and it says you put all your cell phones in the middle of the table while you eat so you can actually talk to each other. And it's hard because it's like grown a part of ourselves. We can't hardly stand not to look at it when we hear a ding. But, you know, you may want to put it away when you're having conversations with people. Put it in your purse, because it's hard not to look at it when you see it. Turn the ringer off, put it in your purse. And unless it's an emergency, I mean, you know what? Even if it's an emergency, 45-minute lunch is not going to hurt somebody for you not to call them back in 45 minutes, you know? And that's rare that it's something that is an emergency like that. So I want you to think about that. So one of the things they said is, talking about living the present, it said, everything in our life suffers when we're not playing present. And with technology occupying the place it does, it's harder than ever to be present with the ones we love. This can lead to isolation, depression, and a whole list of issues. Maybe that helps explain that while our quality of life in the United States has risen, so had the number of people on antidepressants and the number of suicides, especially among young people. And it's so sad to me. So I want to tell you, as you're working your Mary Kay business, be present in the moment with people at your parties and at other things. And I'm sure none of you at your parties answer your phone and stuff during the parties. I mean, that would be like the worst. We've never really talked about it, but it's like you're at work. You don't need to be on your phone at work, right? So as soon as the party starts and you're going, the phone needs to go in your bag so that you can concentrate on making those women feel important. And, you know, if you're not on yours, maybe they won't be on theirs, and they can really concentrate on being pampered that day. You wouldn't think of taking your phone in to get a massage at a spa, would you? I sure wouldn't. I mean, like, you want to leave that behind. And so think about that with these women that you're trying to pamper and make it so special for them. Okay, another one point in this book was talking about being a leader and going first. And it, you know, the book, I think I've told you about many times, it's about this basketball player, this high school basketball player. Anyway, he starts out the book, he's a sophomore, and it goes through his junior year, and it ends on his senior year. And so he is the captain, and things are not happening right with the team and stuff. And so he said, I try to get them to do what I say they'll do, but they're not doing it. And it's not really my problem, I guess. And then a wise person told me, he says, yeah, you have to take 100% responsibility for the whole team if you're the captain. And he said, what are you doing or not doing that could bring that team together? And so many times in Mary Kay, if you have a team or you're building a team, you get frustrated and you say, well, I've told them what to do. I tell them what to do. They're just not playing ball. They're not doing what I tell them to do, you know. And so instead, turn around and look and say, what can I do to encourage them in a different way? You know, what could I do by leading by example? And Mary Kay used to teach that. And so one of the things that talked about going first, and it said a lot of leaders, it says you must climb the mountain yourself and then call them up to the level you're living at. A lot of leaders like to call people out, hypocritically, I might add, but very few are willing to go first and then call people up, step by step by step. So instead of calling them out, call them up. Like, you're up here and you're going to call them up. Say, come on, I'm doing it. Let's do it together. You know what I mean? Instead of saying you're not doing it. And the back of the book says this book will inspire you and hopefully encourage you to choose love and courage over fear and shame. Because when you try to shame people, just like me coming on here and trying to shame you and not into why you hadn't registered for seminar. Well, that don't work. Or scare you, like put the fear in you, right? Instead, all I can tell you is that I think it for me, it's been worth it for 33 years in a row for me to go. And so I would encourage you to go for you, because you will absolutely benefit from it. There's just a difference in that. And so, but leading by example as a leader in Mary Kay and as a boss babe, I think is just amazing. And courage is contagious. Once people see you do stuff that steps out of your comfort zone, they will too. And this one kid was going to school early at 6 o'clock before school starting and practicing and doing his drills. And he was right by himself. And finally, people could tell he was improving. So one other kid said, what are you doing? And he showed him the drill. So he did. And before you know, the whole team was coming at 6 o'clock in the morning because that one kid did and was practicing before school. And that's how, but he was going to do it regardless of his team. Like, he had made that decision. And so when you lead, think about that. What are you doing? And the results will come when they see you moving up, and they're going to ask you, what are you doing? And this kid, he goes, hey, I'm just pounding the stone. And, remember they said that the stone builder pounded it 99 times. And on the 100th time, it finally broke the stone. And 99 times before, it just seemed like it was doing anything. And so he kept thinking, I'm just going to keep pounding the stone, keep pounding the stone. And so I love that. Okay, one other thing that I wanted to mention was this was talking about their last ball game. And they were going for a big tournament. And then the coach said that he wrote on the board, focus, fight, and finish. And I thought, this is us right now. We're kind of like at the Super Bowl. We're at the big game. This is it. This is it. And he said, focus on playing for your teammates rather than your shots, feelings, or pain. Okay, so for us in Mary Kay, that would be, let's focus on, like, I'm going to focus on my unit rather than scoreboard, rather than what I do, focus on helping other people get to where they want to be, and then fight for all the little inches, little improvements that you make. And when you come back, Selah is working on training for a half marathon, and she's doing these drills and training in the mornings, and every day it has her go just a little further, and it mixes it up. And that's the thing, is when you see that little bit of improvement, it encourages you, like, okay. And it's not a lot. They didn't start her out and say, okay, we're going to get you out here and we're going to go ahead and run 12 miles or we're going to get you running for 4 hours the first day, or she just couldn't even do it. But little by little, it was training her to do this half marathon in October or September, whenever it is. And so in Mary Kay, same thing. I think sometimes it's self-sabotage to say, I'm going to go out and get 100 names today, when you hadn't ever went out at all. Like, you never go out. And then you're going to say you're going to get 100. What will happen is, it's such a big thing that you're trying to do that it will discourage you rather than encourage you. Instead, you might just say, I'm going to go out and I'm going to meet one great woman today. And then once you meet one, it may give you the courage to go meet another one. And then you're up to 5 a day, And so don't set yourself up for failure by saying something so outrageous that you can't even do it. It'd be like me saying, I'm going to lose 20 pounds by tomorrow. Unless you want to just cut off my arm and throw it in the trash can, that's probably the only way I can lose 20 pounds by tomorrow, right? But if I said, you know what, I'm going to try to lose half a pound today, or 1 pound. I'm going to cut out the sweets today. Just little by little, but over the long haul. My sister went on this diet that she's doing. It's with metabolic, and she started in November. And her goal was to be finished by March to lose 50 pounds, or April. And she didn't get 50 by then, but she's already lost 40 pounds. And she's doing it like 1 or 2 pounds a week, 1 or 2 pounds a week, 1 or 2 pounds a week. But she stayed consistent this whole time. And now I'm like, wow. She looks great, but she just paced herself and tried to do a little bit every week. And then guess what she did every week, you guys? She went to a meeting, kind of like Weight Watchers, and she checked in with the girl. She had to weigh, she was accountable, and then she had to talk about it. If she didn't do what she was supposed to do, if she never did have a gain, but sometimes she stayed like the same. And but then they would talk about, what's your weakness? And she'd say macaroni and cheese. That girl loves some macaroni and cheese. So she said, I just learned that I can't eat macaroni and cheese. I can never go back and eat macaroni and cheese like I used to. And so if I want to stay a good, healthy weight, And so with your Mary Kay business, you have to figure out what's holding you back from doing the stuff that you really want to do. I mean, like at the end of the day, you really want to get bookings. I know you do. I know you really want to go have a party. But what holds you back from making those phone calls, and what holds you back from meeting those new women? I had a thing this week at my neighborhood, and I've only lived here a few months, and so they asked who would like to be on the neighborhood social committee or whatever, and I'm like, I'll do it because I thought this would be a good way. So anyway, we planned it. This one lady volunteered her house, and me and this other girl planned it. And I did a flyer, and I have them RSVP to me, and I put my Mary Kay email on there. Yes, I did. And so when they got there, I said that we were going to do name tags. And it's funny because, people aren't used to the Mary Kay way, right? Name tags and all that stuff. But that's okay. They did it. So I got to meet every single person. There's about 50 or 60 people came. And I got to meet every single person, man and woman, to slap a name tag on them. And then when we got ready to start, they said, well, we're going to turn it over to Cleta. And I'm like, all right, great. And so, I welcomed everybody here. I'm the newest member in the neighborhood. But the next day, so I had a good time meeting all the women. So I thought, okay, Cleta, where's your courage, right? So I wanted to invite them to something. So I thought, we had it on Thursday. So on Friday, I thought, I'm going to do muffins and makeovers at my house. So I did a little pic collage muffin and makeover. And I thought, it's really too last minute, but I'm just going to do it anyway. I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. So every single person that I had their phone number, or either I was Facebook, like on them with Facebook, I just sent them. I said, it was so nice to meet you. Can't wait till we have our next one. I just had a last minute thought, and I'm facialing some of the women in the neighborhood at my house Saturday morning. Now, and I sent it all out. And I'd love to tell you that I had 20 people over here, and we sold $2,000, and I got gold medal with 5 new recruits. However, what I can tell you is that, nobody could come, like none of them. But here's what I did, you guys. I just cracked open the door. Now, some of them said, oh, I'm so sorry. I can't come. I'm going to be so-and-so. Some told me politely no, and some didn't answer. But it don't matter, because you know what? They're not going to tell me no every single time. So whether they come this time or whether the next time I do it, I give them 2 weeks notice, maybe I have one evening I have them over, they're going to come. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to volunteer my house to do one of the next socials. So they will all come anyway, and they're going to come to my office. So, I am going to get them. But what I'm saying, it would really been easier not even to go there with all these neighbors, because I don't want to be that girl that they're like, oh, here she comes. But then I thought, I have something valuable to offer. Either they can say yes or they can say no. And either way, I'm still riding in my pink Cadillac. I'm still going to meet my goals. But you never know. There might be one girl that would think this would be a great opportunity for me. So you never know unless you ask, right? So even me as a sales director, I have to sometimes just get that courage as well to step out of my comfort zone and invite people that, I wouldn't say these women intimidated me, but, they are all women that they're not hurting for money or anything. They got their life going. They're in a nice neighborhood, but they also need some good makeup, right? So anyway, okay, so fight for the itches. I didn't finish it. So it's focus, fight for all the little itches, the little improvements that you make, and then finish empty. And what finish empty means is that at the end of the seminar year, or at the end of a meeting, a week, or whatever, however you want to set up for our particular situation, it's going to be the end of the month, end of the seminar year. Leave empty. In other words, that you gave it all you've got. Like all you've got. You didn't go, well, if I hadn't goofed off those 2 weeks, I probably could have been in DIQ. Or I would have been a star, but, I just really did not feel like working last week. So even if that's what you've done from day 1 through 10, from 10 to 30, let's give it all we got. Let's really play to win. And I like this thing at the end of the book, and I thought, that's some good stuff right there. And it just spoke to me. And I'm going to read this very last thing of the book. Okay. It says, you you all have the same power inside of you. You are so much more powerful than you realize. Don't ever settle for average. Don't ever settle for easy. Don't ever forget that you only get one life. You aren't entitled to your dreams. You need to pound the stone and develop the grit necessary to push our world forward more now than ever. And remember, with every blow from that hammer and every choice you make, you're building your house. Build wisely. The world is counting on you. It's such a good book. You guys need to read it. So I want to just encourage you today to let's really, these last 3 weeks of the month, let's do something radical. I mean, let's really, like, if you have a sales meeting locally, go tomorrow with guests. Like, say, I will have a guest. If it's the last thing I do, if I have to go to Walmart and throw a woman in the car, I will have a guest. Grab a guest, come to the meeting, have a great time, and let's build this business together. And you guys have fun with it. It's a lot of fun. I can't tell you how I feel when I see a picture of one of y'all doing a Mary Kay party. Lindy Blair just posted a picture of one of her consultants, Angie, at her party with her Mary Kay pin on, holding the flip chart. And I was just so proud. I just remember when she was a guest at the meeting, and that we did right after career conference in Saginaw, and she was kind of scared to even think about doing Mary Kay, and she just had a lot of fears, just a lot of fears. And then, she decided to do it anyway, and she has been one of Lindy's most, best consultants, and has all these bookings, and is just a rock star. So I just, I just love seeing you work. It makes me so proud of y'all, and all of the directors, we're proud of each and every one of our consultants. And so just get out there and let's get with it this week. Thank y'all for calling in, and we will see you at the meeting this week. Get registered for seminar, and let's get that star finished. All right, ladies.